All right, y'all. Let's talk about this human experience that we all are engaging in this lifetime, and how it's important to be gentle with the process. And the reason why you have to be gentle with your process is because we're constantly in a state of evolving. Some of us are very intentional with it every single day, and some of us are living by default instead of living by design. So living by design is waking up, being intentional every day, setting the tone for the day. No matter what, by any means necessary, you are going to find the time in your day to set the intentions for your life. The playing victim game card is played out. Everybody knows the hand. Everybody can see it. And it's not benefiting me or you. Playing the victim in your reality is not taking accountability for the power that you've been instilled to create any desire that you like for yourself. Everybody that's currently in your cipher, that's currently in your circle, that's currently in your energy field, was given permission to exist by you. Just as they have been given permission to exist, you have every authority and right, and you have the power to demand them to exit. Now, I don't mean verbally. You don't have to do it verbally. That's emitting too much energy into something that is not required, right? This is why my journey is so solo. It's rare that you guys see me in any of my videos with people around me. It's rare that you see me around a bunch of van lifers. It's rare that you see me chilling with somebody in my van. And even if I did, it's usually always intimate, and those are just the things that I'm just not going to record and put on here, because that's the only time I really got company in my van. But when you're in a state of yourself, of being intentional every day, you don't have to always get yourself back to center. Again, there are going to be moments where you're going to have to, especially when you're out and about and you put yourself out there. Most times you're already going to be in that energy field where you were here. This is where you met the people because you were on that same frequency. You were tuning into that same channel together, right? So you had so much in common. You guys were marrying and mirroring each other. So it felt great. It was like, this is my friendship, my companion, my lover, my family member, because that happens too. The place that I work at, this is, you married into this. So in return, it mirrored what you were. As you begin to live by design, your energy expands and ascends, and it expands into a different frequency that now everything that was built off of that old frequency, because you're here now, everything that was built off of that old frequency has no choice but to evaporate into thin air as if it never existed. And the only thing that keeps it existing is you breathing life into it. All right? The power of the breath of life. That is the only reason why it still exists. And this is also the reason why you go through so much chaos with things around you, because you're not letting things release naturally. You're holding on to it so tightly because you have an emotion attached to it, you have an experience attached to it, you have a lack of self-worth attached to it, you have a lack of self-love attached to it, and you think that this thing or things is making you what you are, which is not true. What is happening is that you are already the thing, and you're already in that energy field, which is mimicking you through this that you think you're dependent upon. That already exists in you. But because we haven't learned the law of detachment, we get stuck sometimes, in the not knowing how to maneuver ourselves through this process of life, right? So when you live intentional with your life and you live by design, you create this orb around you that's full of the energy that you are injecting into your reality. And when that orb is being protected by the energy that you yourself are emitting, nothing that is part of it can't exist. It just can't. It's not familiar energy, right? So that's like somebody going to a channel. Let's say we're all channels on the radio. I'm 95.8, you're 87.6, they're 105.9, right? And every day we're tuning in to that channel in order to figure out what makes us move and feel good. And sometimes it can be a channel that's just shitty because that's where you're vibing. So not only are you enjoying the shitty channel, but you're also engaging in the music. So now you're feeling through it. Now you're speaking words that are deteriorating your body and your cells and not even realizing it, because your word is power. And when you tune into a different dial, that makes you feel good. And now we're talking about self-appreciation and love and, honoring yourself and waking up every day and being in gratitude. And when you start tuning into that channel, everything around you has no choice but to transform itself into that field, because that is where you are at. The awakening to these things is a beautiful place to be in, but it's also going to be a journey where you're not going to make sense to a lot of people. And the life that you once lived I don't want to say isn't who you are anymore, because nothing ever departs from you. You are the totality of your experience. Every phase of yourself, every face that you put on is still an aspect of yourself. Even though you've outgrown that consciousness of yourself, you still are that thing. And at any time, you can go back if you feel like it. You know what I'm saying? And you have the choice. This is why it's so beautiful of having a choice and having free will, whether you believe it or not. We do. I have a choice every day to wake up and to desire the life that I'm living and to be appreciative of the life that I'm living, and to catch myself when I'm speaking down on myself and playing the victim of my reality that I myself have created, And so harnessing, I have an incense on and I know it's getting a little cloudy in here. So my thing is, I love you guys and I appreciate you guys being here with me on this journey. And I'm just here to share. I'm just here to provide a insight, or to hold the light in the shadow of oneself, and to hold the candle or the light within myself, and being able to shine myself through my own darkness and the things that I've experienced in my own life, and hope that even if it's just one person who feels my message or who can relate or who's on that same frequency, then I've done my job. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to inspire and to enlighten, and that's just what this is all about. This journey is just deeper than what we can see. Everything that's beautiful about this journey is in the dark. A seed grows out of the dark. A child is birthed out of darkness. You can't go into a room that's dark without turning on the light yourself. Every single thing is birthed out of darkness. It holds a space for a certain amount of gestation period in order to birth itself again. And this is why it's so important to be gentle with your journey and be gentle with the process, because you're going through a gestation period and it's not always going to look the way that you want it to look. But when you trust in the God in you and you trust in your Christ consciousness, every single thing up until this very moment of you watching this is for you, and it's divine timing. And that's all that matters. Peace.